So the time has finally arrived to do the setup tour. I've been talking about this for, I don't even know at this point, 3 or 4 months at least. It's probably been 3 to 4 months since I moved into this house. And I've been talking about doing this once we hit 1K on the new gaming channel. I'm recording this in advance, so I don't know if we hit that yet. I decided if we don't hit that by New Year's, I'll just release this as the last video of the year. So I don't know when this is actually going live, but regardless, I want to say a big thank you for all the support across all 3 of the channels and the Clips channel as well. It's been an absolutely wild year, probably one of the wildest years of my life, really, and just want to say a big thank you to all you guys for all the support. And I thought, what better way to show you guys where all the magic happens in the setup. So without wasting any time, we are going to jump straight into it. I'm going to be taking you through all of this stuff, all the stuff on display, as well as obviously the actual setup where the magic happens. Now, if you don't really care about all this stuff, I will leave timestamps down below for when we actually talk about the PC stuff and all the consoles and the setup and everything. So I will be going through a lot of this in detail just because it's fun to nerd out about, a lot of cool stories behind some of the stuff in the shelving. But yeah, if you're not interested in this and you just want to get to the PC, I'll leave timestamps down below. So without wasting any time, let's enter as if you guys are walking into the room for the first time. And this is the view that you get when you walk in. Now, I'm going to start with the stuff on the left just because it's literally the first thing. This is just essentially all the books that I've got. Well, there are some more, but these are mostly the nerdy ones that actually make sense in the nerd setup. Lots of Star Wars books. Obviously a big Star Wars fan for those who don't know. Richmond fan as well, as you can see. If you guys don't know what the hell this is, there is a sport in Australia called the AFL, or it's sort of nicknamed Aussie Rules. And you can also see these up here. It's essentially one of the biggest sports in the world, despite only being played in, a small country like Australia. So all these are the Richmond Tigers jerseys, as well as their premiership posters. I'm a lifelong fan, coming up on 25 years as a member of the club, so I'm a die-hard Richmond fan, and that is what all these hanging jerseys are, as well as a couple of books and our premiership beer cans, because that's just how we do it in Australia. And then we do also have Harry Potter stuff, as well as some Lord of the Rings stuff as well. Speaking of Harry Potter, I've actually got Dumbledore and Voldemort's wands from Universal Studios in LA when I was there earlier this year. So those are pretty cool. I've got them on display on a little stand. Over in the corner, we've then got the recliner that is essentially just there for the missus. I'll sit on it every now and then, but she sometimes loves to come in and either sit on the laptop, play some Switch games or whatever while I'm editing away or playing games myself. So this is her little nook in the corner, very comfy recliner. Now we get on to the main sort of display, and as you can see, there is a hell of a lot to go through here. I'm going to probably not go through every single cube, but there are some with some cool stories, so I will go through those. Obviously, we've got the Funko Pops chilling up the top here. These are all Star Wars. Obviously, feel free to pause and you can see every single individual one, but to save time, I won't go through all of those because there's obviously quite a few. And then I've actually got the boxes sitting up on top of like the wardrobe here, just to mostly get them out of the way, but they actually look sick up there. Like when you walk into the room, it's actually a pretty cool view. It kind of adds a bit of depth to the room, so they do look not too shabby up there. It's also hiding the 40,000 boxes that I've got from like PlayStations and Xbox and all that sort of shit that I just keep. So it's a nice little wall that makes it look not so messy up there. Now getting onto some of the cubes, these are actually the original like Star Wars original trilogy movies on VHS. I don't know what they would be worth at this point. We just bought them, like my parents had them. They gave them to me when I was a kid, and I don't know what the hell they'd be worth right now because they're, essentially a big collector's item, but I would never sell them anyway. They're absolutely sick. Got a couple of pictures of me and the missus, and then some of her friends as well at a party this year. She bought me the Charmander. We're big Pokemon fans, so that cube's a little bit cute. Now this is Anakin's replica lightsaber that I bought also in Disneyland when I was in LA earlier this year, and I've just got the Funko Pops of obviously everyone who used that saber throughout the trilogies. We've got Anakin, obviously it's his saber, but then he handed it down to Luke, and then Luke to Rey, so a little bit of a display there for Anakin's saber. I do also then have Obi-Wan's replica saber as well, and a big shout out to Fine Edition Sabers. They actually sent me this one. I'm partnered with those guys, so if you guys are interested in getting any of these lightsabers, be sure to head to fineeditionsabers.com and you can get 10% off using the code SAMMY. Had to throw the little shout out in there, but that is one of my favorite sabers as well. And I've obviously got the Obi-Wan pop, and then there was no other room for this. This is a freaking mech Darth Vader in Lego. So I just had to put that in there. I don't know why, but it's the only place that it fit. This was actually the missus' birthday present for me this year. It is like a custom, like bobblehead sort of thing with me and Zali. As you can see, there is Zali Bear, and it's honestly crazy how like life like this looks. There's a certain angle where I look at this and I go, wow, that is literally me. So that was a very, very good present from the missus. And then over here I got a couple of Legos. I'm not too big on Lego, mostly because they're freaking expensive, but they do look awesome. Got Boba Fett and the Slave One in Lego. We've got Mando pop up the back with the Razor Crest, and then I got the Inferno Squad as well, and then they all obviously come in the Lego too. We've got our Glitch Energy tubs. These are some of my favorite tubs, both in just the design but also the flavor. Be sure to check out Glitch Energy as well. A couple of things from LA as well. These are the Coke and Sprite bottles that they sell at Galaxy's Edge. These, when you buy them, they actually literally are just Coke and Sprite, but they're obviously designed in a Star Wars way to look like grenades essentially. So I was a bit worried they wouldn't come home on the plane, because I thought they're gonna think I'm a freaking terrorist and got explosives in my bag, but no, it is literally just an empty Coke bottle. Now this is all from LA as well. I've actually even got my my tickets and everything. This was from the LA event for the Survivor early preview. Bought a bunch of stuff. Under here is the coasters from Ogre's Cantina, where I actually got to meet one of my more loyal subscribers, been around for a long time, Saldair. Shout out Saldair. We had a few bevies together and had a good day. And then this is actually the custom lightsaber that I built at Galaxy's Edge, as well as the Merrin Funko Pop, which is actually signed by some of the devs. And then I've actually got my PAX badge, the Content Creator Pass, because I went to PAX not too long ago, actually, as I'm recording this. It was actually last weekend. Met up with a couple of fellow YouTubers that I've been good friends with for a long time, so I thought I'd chuck the PAX pass in there as well. We then have some very cool Star Wars original like posters that my sister got, and she essentially shrunk them down and framed them. Very, very good present there from the sister. Some old school. That one's actually a comic at the back, and then it's a cover of, I think, the original novelization, and then that is the original, what we now know as Return of the Jedi, but back then it was Revenge of the Jedi, the cover art, or essentially the movie poster. So big win from the sister there in terms of the present. And then got some Bad Batch pops as well. Got my original Xbox 360, as well as some of my favorite games. I think there is Black Ops and Red Dead Redemption, and my Mandalorian headset, which is wonky on the sand, and that is now giving me OCD. And then I've actually just got my Xbox controllers on charge in the little nook closest to where I sit, as well as just some extra random bits down there. And then finally, the holy grail is Cal Kestis' lightsaber, which was actually given to me when I bought all these other sabers and stuff. The same trip, they actually, like EA sort of gave us this lightsaber, which is a replica of Cal Kestis, obviously this character here, for those who aren't Star Wars fans. And then I got the Cal Merrin Triller and Purge Trooper Funko Pops. That is honestly the highlight of my YouTube career by far. So I thought I'd put these on their own little stand. As you can see, these are all sort of jammed together, but I had to have this on its own. Looking absolutely sick. That is my favorite lightsaber in Star Wars. I was actually going to buy it the day before at Disneyland. And then Steph, shout out Steph, she actually told us we were getting them. So luckily she saved me about $300. But either way, big fan of this saber. And then they also gave us some of the concept art from the game as well, in a little like printed image there. And then I've actually got my badge from the preview event. It's even got my name on it and everything from that Survivor preview event. So this is visible on the stream background, and this for me is by far my favorite part of the whole setup. Now anyway, that is pretty much it for the stuff that's on display. It's obviously a lot. There is a lot going on here. I wanted to go for a bit of a minimalistic design with this setup, but then once I realized how much shit I've got, I had to somehow put it all in here. So there is a lot going on from this angle. Luckily, when I'm sitting down, you can't actually see it all in the background. So it's not as chaotic on the background of the streams and the recordings, but it is fair to say there is a lot going on. So that is it for, I guess, the display side of it, with the stuff over here as well. I probably should clarify, these boxes are all just like the sabers and stuff. This one's for Anakin's saber, but I've got obviously got it on display. But I've just put all this shit in the corner because there is literally nowhere else to put it. Looks a bit gross, but it's got to go somewhere. So that is it for the display side of things. Now let's get into where the magic happens, boys and girls, and that is the actual setup itself. Firstly, we've got the Secret Lab Titan XL. I've had this thing for, I want to say 3 or 4 years now, and it is such high quality that I genuinely think I could sell this for full price right now, because it seems as though it is literally never been used. It's such a good chair, and it has definitely helped. I've got some lower back issues from when I used to work at a quarry. Essentially got a slipped disc in my back that will not go away, unfortunately. So although it's generally pretty good, when I was sitting on a bad chair, I used to have a lot of back issues. Nothing major, just essentially a lot of pain, whereas this chair has essentially fixed that for me, which is very, very good. We've obviously got the triple monitor setup. If I get the chair out of the way, these are all 3 identical monitors. They are Samsung. I forget the actual name of them, but I'll put all the specs on screen too. I'm not going to go through the specs verbally of the PC because it's too much to remember, but I'll put all of these specs and everything on screen at some point throughout the video. So yeah, triple monitor setup. It's what I've wanted for a very long time. I didn't have the room in my previous house, but finally I do have the room. This is a freaking 2-meter desk, just for context as to how big this is. This room that we're in is not very small, and yet there's barely any room between the desk and the wall. So it's a freaking big desk. And actually looking at it now on the camera, it doesn't look that big, to be honest, but these are 28-inch monitors, so it's a hefty desk, and I guess you can kind of tell the context of the mouse and keyboard compared to it. She do be a chonky desk. Now on top of the PC, which I'll obviously get to in a second, we do also have the PS5 hiding behind here, just because there's literally no room on the desk. I'd like to have them on display, but unfortunately there is no room, but it's kind of nice having them hidden away anyway. And then over in this corner we have got the Switch, and we have got the Xbox Series X as well. We've then got the light behind for obviously when I'm recording, to shine a bit of light on my face. Generally you can see out in our backyard, it is pretty lit up at the moment, so generally during the day it's not too bad, but I definitely need it at night time, otherwise the lighting in this room is absolutely terrible. Now if I actually just sit down, it's probably easy to show it all from my actual perspective. Excuse the cable management, it is not terrible, but it's not great. But if you actually look under the freaking desk, there do be lots of cables, so I feel like I've actually done pretty well. There's not a single cable, other than, I mean, you can't see that from standing back, but I've cleared all cables from the floor, so I'm pretty happy with the cable management. But unfortunately there are a couple that just have to be visible. There's literally nowhere else to put them. Now like I said, we've got the light up there. I can actually control this from the Stream Deck, which is very handy. If I press that button, it will turn that bad boy right on. I can control pretty much everything. I can put the brightness down, up. There's a bunch of different like color waves. Obviously it's a bit yellow, you can have it fully white or whatever, all controlled through the Stream Deck. And yeah, it's very, very handy. There's plenty you can do with the Stream Deck as well. I'm a big NBA fan. You can see the Kobe jersey, as well as a huge frame. Big fan of Kobe, may he rest in peace. There's then another, what's called a monitor light, where if I press this, you can see it actually turns. Doesn't really show that well on the video, but as you can see, this kind of lights up the desk without lighting directly in my face, which is very, very nice, because this one is very bright if we've got it turned on. The webcam over here, and then obviously the peripherals, the mouse and the keyboard and the Stream Deck. The mic, which kind of looks a bit ugly when it's off to the side like that, but obviously when I am actually recording, I swing it out and it sits right in front of me. I can pretty much, this is pretty much my perspective, so it's out of the way, perfect height and stuff for recording, and I can still see all the monitors and stuff. And then when I want it out of the way of the keyboard, I'll swing that bitch out of the way. So the Elgato boom arm, definitely very handy for that. We have the Elgato Wave 3, I believe this is the mic. Very, very good mic. For a USB mic, there are much better mics out there, but they cost a hell of a lot more. So for the price, very, very good mic. Then got my Astro A50s over here. Old faithful, I've been using these for a very, very long time. Now yet to fail me. Portable charger to put my phone on, so I don't have to plug a freaking cord in all the time. These actually control, as you can see, we've got a backlight on the desk. I can just turn that off from here, turn it back on. A bunch of different colors and stuff. It just depends on what channel I'm recording on. Same goes for the backlight on the actual cube shelving as well. It's set to white whenever it's just like normal, but if I'm recording a video, say on the Star Wars channel, I'll turn that to yellow instead of white. And obviously same goes for the backlight here, just to set a bit of a theme for the channel itself. And then what makes it all work is the PC down below. Again, excuse the messy cables. I've also got a USB dock glued to the freaking roof of the desk, which comes in handy because I'm out of freaking USB ports. And then I will pop the specs of the PC up on the screen for you guys so you can see what I'm running. It is a pretty decent PC. It's nothing wild. It's definitely due for some upgrades probably some point next year, but for now it definitely gets the job done. It is of course raised off the ground because you do not want that bad boy sitting on the carpet. So I've got a little PC monitor stand, which as you can see, Zali has left crumbs on from whatever she's been eating in this room. Isn't that right, Zali? You've been eating some food in my room, have you? For those who haven't met Zali, this is my little baby. Well, she's not so little, she's a big girl, but she is my gorgeous little pup. Spends a lot of time in this room while I'm editing away, loves a bum scratch, as you can tell. And she's clearly been eating something because there's crumbs everywhere. Have you been eating in this room, Zali? Been stealing my toast or something? Yeah, you have, you naughty girl. But yeah, she will spend a lot of time. She's not allowed, unfortunately, up there because her hair do be all over the place. So she often just spends a lot of time. She actually loves sleeping on the floor. We got her a bed in the previous house. She did not sleep in it once. She loves sleeping on the ground for some reason. So she's pretty much, this whole floor is her bed. She absolutely loves it. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the office tour, boys and gals. If you have any questions or anything about certain stuff that I'm using, be sure to let me know. I will try and reply to as many comments as I can about the setup. But anyway, guys, that is pretty much it for the setup tour. This is obviously the view from the actual webcam that you guys can see on streams or recordings or whatever. I haven't actually streamed, now that I think of it, since I've been living here. I will be changing that sometime soon. And to be fair, by the time this video is gone up, I probably have streamed. If I haven't, I will be streaming the Game Awards. Although, like I said, I don't know when this actually goes up. So that may have already happened. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed a bit of a tour through the office where all the magic happens. Not all the magic, because I should say Mark and Vic, my good friends and who are working with me as editors and producers on the channels here, a lot of the magic happens on their end as well. So I shouldn't say all the magic happens here, because that is definitely not the case. I could not do it without my two fellas helping me with the editing and the producing, and that is how we're able to get so much content. I've got pretty much multiple videos a week going up across all three of the main channels, and then we're doing daily clips as well on the clips channel, as well as Patreon reactions and stuff like that. I could not do it without the boys helping me out, so a big shout out to them, and you guys should be giving them thanks down in the comments as well, because without them I'd probably be uploading like one video a week across all the channels. To be honest, I could not do it without them, so shout out to my boys. But that is going to do it for the setup tour, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Like I said, if you have any questions about anything, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I'm always keen to nerd out about stuff in the displays or all of the PC related stuff as well. And like I said at the start of the video, I do appreciate all the support across all the channels this year. It's been a really, really good year, and I could not do it without all of you guys. So appreciate all of the support from you guys. That is going to do it for the setup tour. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.